Hello, test. Hello, test, 1, 2, test, 1, 2, test, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, test, 1, 2. flown by Vince Houston from Arlington, Texas. Aircraft of World War II.
There they are! Wow. Wait a minute, let's go! Dude, one of my favorites!
And one of the liaison aircraft, little Piper Cub type aircraft, the L-2, flown by Chris Houston from the ferry. Coming just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen, the Greenback skydiving team will depart their Cessna 206 high overhead. The lead jumper will be Al Saylor, a commercial instructor and pilot, lives in South Texas, down in Friendswood near Houston. He's captain of the Greenback skydiving team. Second jumper will be Tyler Matthews, also a pilot, in Dead Concert, originally from the Valley, now lives in Houston. And carrying the flag will be Mike Nugent, high overhead. Let's watch them. As they come overhead and judge the wind, the four pilots will jump out. You'll see four little bitty dots in the sky, and then you'll see their brand new canopies open up. These Greenback skydivers will do their best to land right in front of you where you see the Greenback flag out there, flying the little white banner across the top. They'll be circled by Spanky Galloway and his extra 300X, and by Nathan Hammond in his Super Chipmunk. Jumpers away, you can see one right there canopy open. The blue, red, white, and blue. There's another one of the Greenback skydiving team out of Friendswood, Texas. They jump out and fall to about 130 miles an hour. Then they open their ram air canopies that they can steer just like you steer the wing of an airplane. They land right in front of you. Oh, isn't that a pretty sight against this blue sky here at Cameron County Airport. Ladies and gentlemen, the Greenback skydiver. Team Captain Al Saylor, Tyler Matthews, Jeff Concert, and the second flag is out by the first jumper out. Watch as they maneuver these ram air canopies to land right down in front of you. They fly them just like they fly an airplane. You get a downwind, a base, and a final to landing. And the American flag is out. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and remove your head covering while Nina Houston, the wife of Airshow Chairman David Houston, performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket and our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
There they are, ladies and gentlemen, the Remax Skydivers out of the Friendswood, Texas area, led by Captain Al Sigler. If you like what you saw, go to Remax.com to learn about real estate the Remax way in the Rio Grande Valley. Nice job, Al. And now, coming up, we have one of the premier aerobatic pilots in the country, Mike Spanky Galloway, flying his Extra 300 SX. The plane began its life as a certified aerobatic plane direct from the Extra factory in Germany. The plane built by, interestingly enough, Walter Extra. The maximum speed of 260 miles an hour. Spanky modified the plane, though, adding a Thunderbolt engine and a custom propeller. This placed the plane in the experimental category. It has a range of about 605 miles. Length of 23 feet 3 inches. The wing is 26 feet 3 inches wide. It's stretched to 10 positive G and 10 negative G. That means when the pilot goes like that, the pressure is putting him back in the seat while he does a triple snap roll on a simulated takeoff. This airplane will climb at the rate of 2,000 feet per minute. That's a lot of horsepower. A good weight to ratio of the engine. Let's watch him as he makes an inverted pass from the right to a tumble. At the end, we call it a push because he does it upside down. Pushes it down into an amazing tunnel. One of the better aerobatic pilots on the circuit today. Spanky's been flying for 22 years. He learned to fly at age 30. He learned to fly aerobatics in his father's Pontiac. Quickly progressed to 6 seconds. Mike has been a full United States aerobatic team. He's participated. He competed in 18 U.S. National Aerobatic Championships and has numerous titles at regional meets. Most of his flying is in aerobatic aircraft like this one, but he does own and fly Beechcraft Bonanza for pleasure and business. He's also this is the sound of that special Extra engine. It's a Thunderbolt engine and a custom prop, giving it a very unique sound and a unique Spanky Galloway, keeping it rolling and tumbling for you all the way. Climb. And he'll come back from the right with what he calls a Humpty Bump with an outside snap going up. So let's watch it. Back on the ship right now. The G-force is pushing it back in the seat. And there's that outside snap. And now he'll do a hammerhead straight up. Rolls it on the up line. And once he reaches almost no airspeed, he'll kick that left rudder and hammerhead it down. That's the hammerhead stall turnaround. Then a pull away with rolls and snaps to a climb. Now, if we had no wind today, the next maneuver that he's going to do would prescribe a arc in the sky in the honor of everyone who is here. 2021. He is going to do an inside loop. And if it didn't have any wind, you would see a giant arc in the sky. A special salute from Spanky Galloway. Now, 9-page spin. And a low level to what he calls a racetrack pattern, right around in front of you. Right down near the ground. Spanky has earned what we call an unlimited aerobatic license. That means he can fly as low to the ground as he feels comfortable. Now he's going to set up for he says that's where I roll it once or twice. He'll bring it back around, and he'll climb it right straight up, and it'll look like he's going to do a hammerhead stall turnaround, but he's going to have a little twist to it. And once he reaches zero airspeed, he's not going to pull the throttle back and hit that left rudder. He's going to let the airplane go full throttle and then spin with the torque of the engine back down the way he gave. We call it the torque roll. How about that? There's an aerobatic movie that at the end of the movie, we had no wind, and you see a figure eight line on the side of the sky. With rolls and snaps. The keeper. I've had the pleasure of working with Spanky for over 20 years at air shows all over the country. It's a pleasure to be here at the air show in Cameron County Airport for you folks today. Let's watch him as he gets into what he calls the endo tumble. Ooh, tail to nose and nose to tail. Asking him how he maneuvers that, he said, I just put it in there, and the way it comes out is the way it comes out. And good, if you'd like to get a good picture of this, he's going to give you a knife edge pass in his extra 300X. And how about a wave for all the Remax skydivers? Captain Al Saylor. Pick up, there's your knife edge pass. Coming back from the left, he'll come back inverted or upside down. If he wants to go up, he has to push like he's going down. Al Saylor, ladies and gentlemen, right in front of the announcer stand, the captain of the Remax skydiving team. And now, Spanky's setting up for what he calls his show pass to land. Let's see, he always does something tricky. And sometimes I know what it is, and sometimes I don't.
Hey, James, we have fun doing it. It's got a Sharpie. How about that? Look at that, yeah.
Well, and sometimes Izzy's actually one lane.
Got a bunch of kids.
This is also
Is there another mark?
Yes.
Hand me one and I'll do
My buddy and kind of extraordinary Spanky Galloway. Mike Galloway is his given name. All the folks on the air show circuit call him Spanky. I'll let him tell you that story if he wants to. If you had an opportunity to talk to him, you might ask him about it. Get in the way, this is Taxi 5. And folks, the way you see him right now is the way he is all of the time in real life. He's got more energy than I ever saw had. Taking off, Mick Houston from said we cannot win this war in a defensive spirit. Our power and resources must be fully mobilized, and out of the ashes of defeat rose the phoenix of future victory. A nation which has been basking in the twilight zone between war and peace found itself united and determined to fight. Just as we have underestimated our own safety, the enemy has underestimated our ability and our determination. The United States of America, the world's greatest industrial nation, shifted into high gear virtually overnight. Production lines began to move at full speed with incredible efficiency and volume. Starting almost from scratch in January of 1942, America began equipping and training 16 million fighting men. President Roosevelt announced that we would produce 50,000 more planes a year. And it seemed to be impossible. But in 1944 alone, incredibly, our factories turned out over 96,000 warplanes. Much of the production was dedicated to the premier aircraft you saw take off a moment ago to prepare the new edition that would fly fighter, bomber, and cargo aircraft. You know, everyone wanted to be a combat fighter pilot. The qualifications were tough. Young men had 18 years of age, physically fit, and at least 2 years of high-level math engineering and training. Aviation cadets began with 65 hours in the primary trainer, like the PT-17 Stearman you see coming across to your right now. The other primary trainers were the Fairchild PT-19 and PT-26 and the Ryan PT-22. PT-26 and final plateau toward earning the honor of wearing the wings of the U.S. Army Air Force, Navy, or Marines, meaning with 70 hours of defense training. The final plateau was with 70 hours in the T-6. The T-6 came to be known as the pilot maker because of its very unforgiving nature when mishandled by a pilot. So the first-hand combat experience returned from the front to teach the techniques of combat flying. The training course lasted 10 months and included some 200 hours of flight time. Aviation cadets passed the program. You're seeing examples of these critical steps toward training the pilots who helped us win freedom throughout the war in World War II. Then you just passed is the PT-13, flown by Kyle Norman from LaFerre. PT-17 Sherman, this is a specially modified version that you'll see fly in a few minutes, flown by Aaron Taylor from Temple, Texas, up in Central Texas. The L2 we'll talk about in just a moment, flown by Chris Houston from Los Fresnos, Texas. Of course, Nick Houston flying PT-6 from Harlem. The American light industry at that time has grown from a small cottage business to a mining production machine delivering nearly 20,000 small two-place aircraft like the little L2 you saw fly by a moment ago in only 3 years. And as the clouds of war loomed ominously, these manufacturers saw that their civilian aircraft could serve an important mission in the war effort. After a massive promotion effort, the top War Department brass, the Army begrudgingly agreed to try what they called the Little Puddle Jumper aircraft. The experiment was a resounding success, and soon after, civilian aircraft, such as the Piper Cub, were being shipped to the Army in right there. The military versions of these aircraft differed only slightly from their civilian counterparts. In order to meet their primary combat mission of artillery spotting, the aircraft were outfitted with extra glass for improved visibility. Flown by these flying jeeps included message carrying, personnel transport, and emergency medical evacuation. These small single-engine aircraft that could take off and land in the length of the football field came to be known affectionately as grasshoppers. The most produced of the grasshoppers was the Piper L4. The L4 was simply a military version of the Piper Cub. From the Aeronica came the L3. Taylorcraft produced the L2 that you see flying today. Stinson Aircraft produced the L1 and L5 specifically for military liaison work. Only the L1, L4, and L5 saw major combat duty. The Taylorcraft L2 and Aeronica L3, and to some degree the Interstate L6 were used stateside in our military and civilian pilot training program. Although unarmed, the Grasshoppers were some of the most feared aircraft ever launched against the enemy. Equipped with the two-way radio, the lowly Grasshopper was the perfect platform from which to direct the precise placement of artillery fire. The last aerial dogfight in Europe in World War II was between two unarmed aircraft, by the way. In April of 1945, a Piper L4 came upon a German Eastern Storch observation aircraft. The Grasshopper pilots, very brave that they were, dove down on the Storch using only their .45 caliber pistols and brought the German aircraft down and captured its pilot. It was the only German aircraft shot down with a handgun in World War II. Plane just like the one you see flying in front of you today, the liaison aircraft of World War II. There he is, Stanky Galloway, folks. Nice job, Stanky.
Thank you, Ray. I had fun. What's up, guys? How you doing? Hey,
There we go.
fine. How you doing? What do you think? Fine. Yeah. Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff. Oh, cool. You don't like that? There you go. Cool. You have fun? Y'all like the red airplane? Yeah, that's my favorite. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Here's Aaron Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, in his Super Stearman. Eric's going to be taking off in just a few moments to give you an aerobatic routine in this very powerful, highly modified Boeing B-17 Stearman. This particular airplane was built in 1951 for the U.S. Navy as an N2SS cadet. The N2S designation was for the Navy. Its mission was the primary trainer, and it was this type of plane that most military pilots got their initial flight training, as I explained a moment ago. This airplane served at a naval air station, Bunker Hill, Louisiana, until the end of World War II, and then was sold as surplus to be used as a crop duster. The airplane was used for many years, carrying crops here in the U.S. and the greater sense of Guatemala, where it dusted crops down there as well. It returned to the United States in the 1980s and was restored to the condition you'll see in it today. What makes this a Super Stearman? Well, the original engine on the Stearman was a 220 horsepower radial engine.
If you do that, it's gonna tell you no. Which airplane do you like, Zayden?
Yeah, another one. Cool. Yeah.
I like the rainbow one.
We
You
can
like
look
the rainbow one? What about you, Zayden? You like the rainbow
There you
one
go.
too?
Cool. All right. Woman aviator. That's correct. Yes. Why?
Oh, look, there's a white one. I think it's gonna go in the air, Zayden. You see it, Lexi?
Man, I'm good. Yeah. Thank y'all for coming out. Y'all having fun? What a great day. Hi, how you doing? All right. I'm like,
I know he's 4.
you're 4? You look at least 5.
Hello, test 1, 2, test 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2,
There's a white airplane again.
test 1, 2, 3, 4.
See it? Yours?
There you go.
That's the premier medium bomber of World War II. This was called Devil Dog. It was stated in its marine markings. They call it the PDJ. And I guarantee you this is not being peanut butter and jelly. At the controls is the primary sponsor and chief pilot for Devil Dog, Colonel Beth Jenkins out of Georgetown, Texas, where she operates the Pilot Training Academy. Sitting right seat is Mark Fredericks from Taylor, Texas. Beth was the first multi-engine pilot qualified to fly for the Commemorative Air Force about 15 years ago. And that's the future, talking the North American 18 section of the Lincoln Bridge is called the Destiny Day. Super German. And from Denver, Texas, is the 73-year-old professional airline pilot. Lady Texas, you can go up in the big wind area, or you can on the south line. Here began flying at the age of 14. First photo, Johnson on the 16th birthday. Wind up with a figure eight lying on his side in the sky as he finished the maneuver. Now, from the right to the left, he's going to show you, I believe, a giant barrel roll. Gaining speed as he dives down. Lots of smoke coming off of the exhaust of that engine. By the way, the engine is not in trouble. Nice, giant, gentle barrel roll. These airplanes have what we call a smoke system.
Everything's been paid for. You don't owe anybody anything.
And you know, as you watch these maneuvers, you think, oh my goodness, how nice and smooth and easy. And you may think he's just kind of taking it easy inside the cockpit. But folks, every one of these maneuvers requires him to do multiple things with the rudder and the rudder pedals and the stick that controls the ailerons and the horizontal elevator. So he's working hard. Now, a very slow aileron roll. up and over one side and down the other side, disappeared behind it. The barrel roll. Nick Houston, pilot of the T6.
We're switching you out. You're in charge there.
And now get your cameras ready. Here's going to give you an opportunity to get the Now you've in for a real treat, folks. And this is something that I would like to talk to you all about. I know we advertised having a lot of different airplanes and a lot of different acts here today, but due to weather and some mechanical issues, not all of the airplanes that we had planned on being here are here. And it's unfortunate, but 3 of them are World War II airplanes that are over 70 years old, and we know that you wouldn't want the pilots to do anything that would damage the airplanes or possibly hurt them, so they weren't able to make it because of weather or mechanical issues. And so we're not going to be able to do our Tora recreation. One of our planes, the Val replica, the green airplane with the red tail out in front of you on the taxiway, was scheduled to fly. We were going to try to do a little bit of the act, but it experienced a mechanical difficulty, so we're only going to be able to fly one of the fleet of the Tora aircraft. But you're in for a treat, because the pilot of that airplane is a superb pilot. He has his low-level aerobatic license, and he's flying a converted T6 Texan, converted to look like a Curtiss P-36 Hawk, which was one of the planes that got up to engage the Japanese on the surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th of 1941. And as soon as Craig comes in and starts his routine, I'll be happy to tell you more about him. He's an amazing pilot and a really nice guy, and I enjoy knowing him and his high career. How about we to Aaron Taylor, who's actually flying his 450 horsepower Super Sherman. Nice job, Aaron. Coming in to your left, ladies and gentlemen, Craig Butane in the replica of the Curtiss P-36 Hawk. You might say that retiring from Eastern Airlines in 1982 with over 30 years of service. Along the way, Barney nurtured his fledgling pilot, helping him build a multiple airplane model and 2 gas-powered two-control flying models. And when Craig was 10, good old Barney plopped him down a couple of phone books and extra cushions and started teaching him how to fly a J-3 Cub. Well, there was no turning back for Craig. He quickly developed a love of sport flying, biplanes, radial engines, and aerobatics while working at a local West Coast airport and training for his pilot's license. Craig soloed at just 17 years of age, completing a sportsman aerobatic routine on his first solo flight, which is amazing. It won't surprise you to know that Craig became a flight instructor while he was just in college, graduating with a degree in aeronautical engineering from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, California in 1982. He immediately went to work for the airlines and is now a captain of the Boeing 777 airline based out of Houston. Craig has amassed over 40,000 hours in over 100 different flights of aircraft. expensive history. Greg currently flies several types of CF aircraft, including all 3 types of Cora planes. He's assigned his P-36 Hawk right now. He also flies the Bell P-39 Aerocobra, 2 of the Bell P-63 King Cobras, and, as you'll see a little bit later on, a P-51 Mustang. Greg and his wife Lori live in Montgomery, north of Houston. It will not surprise you to know that he also owns 3 Ford Mustangs, including a 1969 Cobra Jet Mach 1, which, by the way, he will not let me drive. I think that's a sin, but anyway, he won't. He's currently building a CAF Special. That's a radial engine version of the Steam Skybolt biplane. We'll be doing aerobatic routines in the CAF Special before long. Right now, he's giving you the performance characteristics of the replica of the Curtiss P-36 Hawk, a modified North American ET-6 Texan, 600 horsepower motor on the front of that beautifully restored airplane. Craig, you think? Here comes Craig down to the right. Smoke is still on. I don't really know what his routine calls for. Picks the nose up. Nice smoothing. The real key to doing that is to know when to stop it so that you wind up flying level again. And that takes a lot of experience, which he has over 32,000 hours of flight time. And I believe the smoke is off. He's coming into land. Taking off right now to your right, ladies and gentlemen, Beth Jenkins and Mark Frederick at the controls of Devil Dog, the North American B-25 Mitchell bomber, the premier medium bomber of World War II. Listen to those 2 powerful radio engines. Japanese attack Pearl Harbor in launching a fleet and helping out our allies who were involved in World War II around the globe, in Europe and over in China. We were not actually involved specifically. After the surprise Japanese attack in Pearl Harbor December 7th, 1941, we became specifically involved. And the United States came to rescue the rest of the world in this entire world free. After the surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, before our headlines began to see the advances of victory, we had very little to cheer about. Our casualty list represents the price we paid for failure to provide inadequate defense. For our unbelievable failure to meet the death and destruction as I told you about this once you wait for Craig Eugene back in time. But the morale of everyone here in the United States is completely elevated of courage and ability. One of these happened on April 16th of 1942, when a middle-aged lieutenant colonel named Jimmy Doolittle led 16 B-25s just like this one on the impossible mission, a raid on the Japanese homeland itself. The raid was conceived immediately after the attack on Pearl Harbor, but it took several months to modify the aircraft and to train the crew. The aircraft modifications were necessary because for the first time, 20 B-25s were to be flown off the deck of an aircraft carrier. The B-25s were 700 miles from Tokyo when they launched from the deck of the aircraft carrier USS Hornet. Although their light bomb load did not permit them to do much damage, the Japanese homeland had been bombed by American bombers. To your right, ladies and gentlemen, watch as the B-25 comes in to simulate the Doolittle raid on the Japanese homeland on April 18th of 1942. 16 of these launched from the deck of the aircraft carrier USS Hornet. Their light bomb load did not allow them to do much damage, but we did psychologically damage the Japanese. Pitch the nose up, bomb bay doors open, the Doolittle raid. The B-25 was active at all of the theaters of the war. It saw one of its actions in the Pacific. It was also active over Europe later in the war. It was also active over North Africa later in the war. Following through all of the bombing missions that were required of aircraft to engines that carry light bomb loads in and out. Here comes B-25 on another bombing run. The B-25 was originally built in 1941, about the middle of the year. There were about 9,800 of them produced in the war years, models A to J, powered by two Wright R2600 14-cylinder radial engines with about 1,700 horsepower between them. No, each one of them had 1,700 horsepower. It could fly at a maximum of 15,000 feet and had a really good range of about 1,500 miles. It was armed with 6 50 caliber machine guns, or it could carry in place of the machine gun a 175mm cannon and 4 50 caliber machine guns. It also could carry 3,200 pounds of bombs. Designed to be flown as an attack and medium bomber. It was named after U.S. Army Air Corps Colonel Billy Mitchell, who saw next to the Pacific, and as I said a moment ago, served all quarters of the war. I also saw service in security, Australia, Canadian, French, Russian, and Chinese, many creating any sort of I joked a little bit about peanut butter and jelly for PBJ. PB actually indicates patrol bomber, and the J added to it is an alpha code designated the manufacturer. North American Aviation built it, and that's the PBJ model. And like I say, it does not mean peanut butter and jelly. And kind of an aside, I was born in Dallas in 1942, and at the time, my father received an exemption from serving in the war because he was working for the North American Aviation plant in Grand Prairie, building P-25 bombers and P-51 Mustangs. You'll see the P-51 here in just a moment. So I had enjoyed announcing commemorative Air Force Airshow since 1977, and I finally figured out that I just had World War II airplanes in my DNA. The Marines were innovative and customizing the PBJ for the jobs they faced. The Marines learned early that they could bombardier position for attack. Upon learning this, North American engineers designed a solid-nose armed with up to 8 50 caliber machine guns, a radar nose with 4 50 caliber machine guns, and an elite model, a 75 millimeter cannon. 9 PBJ squadrons made it overseas before the war ended in the Pacific. 26 PBJs were lost in combat, 19 were lost in operational accidents within the combat zone. The Devil Dog represents the number 3 ship of DMD 612 Squadron. The number 3 ship began her 23rd mission and never returned. Ozzie Perry does the commemorative report with the DMD 612 Squadron. And so restored this aircraft is the number 3 ship of 1980 honor of also with the great mascot Devil Dog in the public of the Marine version of P-35. The DMD-612 PBJ-1Js had radar noses and navigated by the stars back then. Nose arc was not allowed for fear the moon could reflect the nose arc and reveal the aircraft's position. The Devil Dog Squadron's mission is to keep this piece of history alive, and they do it so very well. Based in Georgetown, Texas, at the hangar of Beth Jenkins Pilot Training Academy. Taxiing down to the end of the runway right now is Craig Hethane one more time in the North American P-51 Mustang. Unquestionably, this airplane was the premier fighter of World War II. Listen as those 1,700 horsepower radial engines fire up on the B-25 as it comes in. Bombay goes open for another one. Called Shangri-La, owned by Tom Ball in the Houston area. You look down here, he is not, doesn't have the experience that Craig has and the licensing that Craig has to fly in an air show like this, so he very generously flew it down here for Craig to fly. We appreciate that very much, Tom, if you can hear. Thank you. Because an air show like this would not be complete in my book if we didn't have a P-51 Mustang, as you'll see in just a minute or two. It has a very, very distinctive sound. And once you hear it and get it fixed in your ears, you can hear that sound anywhere and you know exactly what it is. And I think Craig has performed all of his checkout maneuvers.
That's a nice setup.
Taxiing out to the end of the runway, and after Beth and Mark Frederick make their pass this time, he'll be taking off to join them in the air. He'll be flying high cover for the bomber, like they did back. North Africa. Takeoff roll to your right. Craig Butane in Shangri-La, the North American B-51 Mustang. Over 14,400 have been built during the war years, and they were sent all over the world to combat the Japanese in China and Japan and in the Pacific and all over Europe and North Africa. Wherever there were bombers, you had P-51s flying cover for them. It's armed by 4 50 caliber machine guns and could carry up to 2 1,000-pound bombs or 10 5-inch rockets. It has a performance speed of 487 miles an hour, exceeding of 41,900 feet and a range of 950 miles. Now bear in mind, these propeller engine aircraft are not like our modern jets. To watch their fuel consumption very carefully to maintain enough fuel to get back to their base for their club. Now this is the interesting story to me. The first version of the B-51 was designed and built in just 117 days to meet British approval. It went operational in Europe in December of 1943 and accompanied bombers to Berlin for the first time in March of 1944. It escorted B-29s to Japan beginning on February of 1945. The first version was employed by the U.S. Army Air Force as the A-36 in mid-1942. Jackie B, ladies and gentlemen, in her Extra 300. She'll be performing in just a moment. Once again, our aircraft of World War II coming in from the right to simulate the activity that happened in the air and on the ground. It was the result of an extraordinary design effort, and like many other great aircraft designs, was successful way beyond the hopes of its designers. For example, the engineers at North America hoped that their design of a unique air scoop below the wings would create very little drag, but in use, it actually produced a sort of ramjet effect, boosting the performance cycle. The Mustang was hot, and like many other high-performance planes, it is sweet to fly. With the drop hatch, the Mustang was the first U.S. Army Air Force long-range fighter aircraft. The top is the Indian C model, like that of the first B-40 Warhawk. The D model, which is the one that's flying today, has a bubble canopy over the pilot. This is a liquid-cooled 12-cylinder Rolls-Royce Merlin engine in the P-51. And as it comes by you again in just a few moments, if you look underneath the wing, you can see that scoop that I told you about. Over your right shoulder, Beth Jenkins and Mark Frederick and the B-25 coming in for a photo pass, standing it up on the left wing. Get a picture of this beautifully restored and maintained B-25 Mitchell bomber. Focus your cameras right in front, right about now. Beth Jenkins and Mark Frederick in the B-25, PBJ, Devil Dog, and Craig Hutane flying the P-51. We got another treat coming from you with the P-51. I told you a moment ago that they were used in close ground support in addition to supporting the bombers, and we're going to give you a demonstration of how that works twice in just a couple of moments. Devil Dog will be coming over your right shoulder, this time in an actual photo pass. They kind of fooled me the last time because they wanted to give you that last tremendous wall of fire bomb, simulating what actually happened back then. They'll be coming by over your right shoulder, and then Craig Hutane will be coming back with the P-51 for a couple of more passes, demonstrating the close ground support capability of the North American P-51 Mustang. Here comes Beth Jenkins and Mark Frederick to the B-25. Dialing down, a little airspeed. Then up on that left wing just about right now. Got a new paint job on that beauty about 2 or 3 years ago, and they're maintaining it perfectly. It looks great. And trust me, a paint job on that airplane is a lot more expensive than a paint job on your house. Up here at the announcer's stand, my name is Ray North. It's been my privilege of announcing the air shows for the Rio Grande Valley wing of the Commemorative Air Force for over 20 years. It's a pleasure to be here today for you. And the gentleman standing next to me in the blue shirt and red hat, he's what we call the air boss. He's in charge of who's flying out there and giving directions on when and where and how and why and all that kind of thing. His name is David Anderson. He's from Buna in East Texas, and it's a pleasure to be working here today. I work with David. Air shows all over Texas for many years, and it's always a pleasure for us to do this for you. We're kind of the two people who create this thing for you up here. He decides when they're going to fly and how they're going to fly, and I sometimes try to keep up with him and talk about it. In fact, David, that's a very truthful statement, and the honest goodness truth of it is with all of the weather that we had yesterday and all of the difficulties we had getting planes in here that were scheduled, he and I rewrote the show that he put together late yesterday afternoon. And a strafing run with an invisible fighter. Anyway, once we found out which airplanes would be able to fly, or we thought we were going to be able to fly, we wrote the air show format about 5 different times this morning, trying to get it put together the right way.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
There she sits down. I've had the privilege of riding with Beth and boy, she does a great job. had the privilege about 20 years ago of riding in the back seat in Red Nose, the initial P-51 of the Commemorative Air Force, when the CAF was still based in Harlingen. And the pilot who took me up, when he got me strapped into the back seat, if you want to call the 2x12 plank that was the seat, he said, now don't you worry about a thing. He said, we're going to go up and we're going to do some loops and some rolls. And he said, you could have a cup of coffee between your legs and I wouldn't smell a drop. And I'm thinking, yeah, right, you know. So we got at the end of the runway and we did all the checkouts and we took off. And it was nice and smooth and we went up about 5,000 feet out over the Laguna Madre. And he took me through about 6 maneuvers. And he was absolutely correct. That is a very, very smooth flying and smooth operating aircraft. And I enjoyed my flight with Vernon Thorpe. Nice day on the Craig never comes off the throttle when he's doing the aerobatic routine. Keeps it right at the same performance level. And does a great job of smoothly putting the P-51 to sleep. As you can see, even World War II pilots can have a little fun. If you think they're not enjoying themselves flying the airplane, they are. Here comes Fred right down on the deck again, simulating the scraping run done by P-51s in World War II. She started skydiving in 1986 in Spokane, Washington. She started flying aerobatics in Livermore, California in 1997. Checked out in the Pitt Special in July 24th of 1997. Bought her first airplane, the Pitt's SI-1T, on April 2nd of 2000 and started aerobatic competition in August 2000. She competed in up to advanced level and has won several trophies. Shaggy D attended Reno Air Race's pylon racing seminar in Reno in June of 2001. Races were canceled that year, because if you remember that when 9/11 happened. She raced Reno in September of 2002 for the first time in the biplane class. Placed 6th in the bronze. Raced in Reno again in 2003. 6th in the silver class. Raced Reno again in 2004. And raced 5th in the silver class. She earned her commercial certificate in November 2003 with over 1,000 hours flight time and over 800 hours tumbling in a Pitt Special. Shaggy D currently has 3,400 hours of flight time, 3,000 aerobatic flight hours. Bought the extra 300 in November 2011. The first female to fly an air show in an Arab country in Al-Amin, UAE in 2010. The extra 300 that she has, built in 1990, has a 27-foot wingspan and 24 feet long, weighs about 1,500 pounds, has a climb rate of about 4,500 feet per minute, a G rating of plus minus 10 forces of gravity, cruises about 190 knots, powered by a Lycoming AIO 540 engine. Maximum roll rate of 400 degrees.
I'm able to open
Jackie wants to give it a few minutes.
That's cool. House fire on Port Isabel 802. Old Port Isabel is shut down and around the area. Just using Robindale and Banner.
The product portfolio has been extended far beyond VFR aviation. The corporation is a market leader for airborne telecommunications, intercommunication systems that is benchmark is one of the workforce system markets. Booker Harness. Custom made hundreds They thought it would slow the airplane down, but in fact, just made it fly back. Shangri-La, owned by Tom Ball. Tom, we appreciate it. MT Propellers USA, the blades of our variable pitch propellers are based on a proven design which was invented in the 30s by a group of top engineers in Berlin. Paraphernalia Softy Parachutes and Lift Aviation, the industry's premier producer of fire-resistant flying shoes, next-generation helmets, and the next best knee board around.
What's that? Those were the they had an inverted tail. or inverted wing. Yeah, close to that. Yeah, the horse wing. Go up. Yeah, they look like this. Remember the TV show? Yeah, there was a TV show.
One of our simulated explosion in the World War II portion of our show was performed by the Blasters. They're the pyrotechnic division of the Commemorative Air Force. This particular group headquartered by my buddy Rodney Robinson from Mercedes. They get there before we do and have the dirtiest job of the whole air show. Out there slogging around in the muddy field, setting out detonation cord and bags of gasoline and dynamite to prepare the realistic effects that we use to simulate the air battles of World War II. We appreciate them very much. They're also going to give some realism to our 810 Thunderbolt 2 demonstrations coming up in the not too distant future here at Airshow 2021.
Let's have it.
On takeoff roll to your right, ladies and gentlemen, in her extra 300, Jackie B.
Yeah, because he didn't go pick up the plates, drop them off for grandma.
How long is the drive from Boston to here? 45 minutes? 40 minutes?
I think it's 38.
Really? There's right up with
That sharp sound that you hear, that's not the sound of the motor, that's the sound of the prop. Moving so fast, approaching the speed of sound. To the right, smoke is on, and here comes Jackie D. Here she comes. Nose up. Series of rolls. Aileron roll. Fast roll. Oh. He calls that the centrifuge. Calls this the shark tooth. Coming back out from the right to the left, a nice slow roll. Jackie B. Calls McKinney, Texas in the Dallas Fort Worth area home right now. Puts her in the center part of the country. I believe he calls that the woo he comes. Turn the microphone over to Luke Jericho, who's got a great air show act coming out for you, right, Luke?
That's correct. Thank you very much, Ray Norton. Ladies and gentlemen, taking off to your left right now is an aircraft from the 1950s from the Royal Canadian Air Force. It's known as the Cello. This one has been extensively modified for air show flying and for air show skywalking. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Ghost Rider. He's set it up right now for his air show. High and up. No crew will be able to shake out. A little bit positive. A little bit different. Now, we're going to pile up, checking the engine, ensuring his seatbelts are tight, and he is set and ready, both physically and mentally, to commit himself to the next 10 minutes of what you're about to see. Naked Hammer and Ghost Rider Airshow is brought to you this weekend. Thanks to the sponsors to include Copper Grove Air Motors, Sarasota Avionics, CJ Aviation, Tempest, Goodyear Aviation Tires, Airflow Performance, Concord Batteries, ForeFly, JP Instruments, and Wheeling Aerospace Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghost Rider Airshow is proud to present Nathan Hammond and the de Havilland Super Chipmunk known as the Ghost Rider. An experienced aviator and aerobatic pilot, Nathan has amassed over 7,000 There have been more men who have walked on the moon than those who have been skydivers in the history of aviation. And now we take to the skies in a display of aerobatics in this unique air show airplane. Let's look high above as we welcome Nathan Hammond and Ghost Rider. That air show smoke system you're seeing looking real good today, made by injecting a paraffin-based oil into the exhaust system that immediately vaporizes during the quick smoke the follow. This is the same type of message used that we can implement to write with area messages. Originally designed as a trainer for the Royal Canadian Air Force, this 1956 de Havilland Super Chipmunk has been highly modified into the air show airplane you see today. It features a this classic military trainer into the air show platform. More than 10 miles wide at an altitude more than 15,000 feet. The with the one name of the Ghost Rider. Once again here at the Campbell County Airport. In addition, one of the Israel bands performances during the day also display at night. The Ghost Rider can be equipped with over 200 pounds of pyrotechnics and fireworks, over 2,000 LED lights, and special effects to make for an sparkling performance. What you are seeing are not the full characteristics of the full Royal Canadian Air Force trainer. Nathan Hammond at Ghost Rider Airshow would like to thank their sponsors to include Poplar Grove Airmotive, Sarasota Avionics, CJ Aviation, Tempest, Goodyear Aviation Products, Airflow Performance, Poplar Batteries, Forecast, JP Instruments, and Real Technology. They would also like to thank each and every one of you for attending today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, from all the way from Danville, Kentucky, let's put our hands together for Nathan Hammond and the DeHammond Super Shipboat. My name is Luke Carrico. Thanks for being with us on behalf of the entire Ghost Rider Airshow's team. We wish you a pleasant day and blue skies always. And now back over to the voice of Airshow 21, the great Ray Norton.
Oh, thank you very much, folks. How about it for Luke Carrico and Nathan Hammond, the Ghost Rider, folks? You enjoy that? Well, let me give you a little secret. If you're going to be out on the island tonight after it gets good and dark, since we didn't get to do our night show last night, Nathan and Luke were going to do a night show for us, aerobatic night show. We can't do that tonight, but he's got to get rid of all the pyrotechnics that he had strapped on the ends of the wing. So after it gets full dark, up and down the bay side, on the west side of the island, he's going to let the fireworks go as he flies back and forth. So if you want to see a good show, see out there in the Louis backyard here, you can get a good look at what that might have been. He's got LED lights all over the airplane, and you wouldn't believe the fireworks he's got attached to the end of the wing. It would be a nice show, right, Luke?
Indeed. Nathan's going to come by. He's going to taxi down the line. And, of course, with the engine running, he won't be able to hear you, but he certainly will be able to see you. So be sure to wave your hands up high, wave your hat for great appreciation for his outstanding aerobatic performance here this afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Wave your hand, wave your hat, wave your umbrella, wave your mother-in-law if you can lift her. On takeoff, roll to your right, the premier formation aerobatic team in the world, the Aeroshell team. You will not see post formation aerobatics anywhere else except when they get ready to start, we'll start their music and let you watch. Their sponsors are Aeroshell, Honda Generator, Champion Aerospace, Emulating Insurance, Incontinent Instruments, Aero LED, CJ Aviation, Yonkins Aviation Instruments, Higher Power Hydraulic Doors, S&A Guns, Lincoln Welders, Boat Headsets, Aircraft Proof, Goodyear, Concord Battery, Strong Parachute, Jefferson, Denison, All Kinds, Flight Helmets, Structure Fire, Icon, Rapco Aircraft Parts, and more. Plane Power Alterations, John's 360 Coating, Cooper Harness, ECF 50, JPI Instruments, L3, Harris, Aerospace Carbonics, PS Engineering, and Arctic Avionics and Instruments. Coming in just a moment, headed your direction, will be the four pilots, Mark Henley, Brian Regan, Steve Gustafson, and Jimmy Fordham of the premier close formation aerobatic team, the Aeroshell Aerobatic Team. Here they come in from the right. Smoke's on. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and watch the Aeroshell Aerobatic Team. They're opening. Formation move. Look at that precision. Once again, coming in from the right, let's watch the team. Smoke on just about. Right now. Coming along. Hold this, barrel roll coming from the right. You want to know why they call it the finger four? Look at your right hand. And then they slide it back into the diamond. Now get your hammers ready. Mark Henry's going to lead the group into a good opportunity for a victory. The Airshow Paramedic team, formation loop to a even break. Now this next one is could be titled Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. Mark Henry's going to lead all of the other three pilots into a loop, so it's going to be a loop in trail. Brian, Steve, and Jimmy will try to do exactly the same thing Mark's doing in the front. Here they come, from the right, the trail loop. Following him, now back from the right, the barrel roll, and they'll do something you don't see most pilots do. Most pilots put their wheels down to land. These guys say, well, we'll just be a little different. These guys are flying World War II advanced trainers, the 18-6 Texans. We're going to bring you all the way up to the present time with the United States Air Force A-10C Thunderbolt, also known as the Warthog. All of the pilots like to go up and kind of take a look at the lay of the land, so to speak, before they fly. And normally, the pilots do this the day before the air show. But because we had a training yesterday, the pilot, Gator, of the A-10C Thunderbolt, didn't get a chance to do that. So he's going to take off and take a little circuit around the field, and then we'll turn it over to the rest of the team for the actual demo. Out in the center of the field for you, ladies and gentlemen, the 4 planes of the Aeroshell Aerobatic team. From the left to the right, Mark Henley. From Birmingham, Alabama, Brian Ricketts from Lafayette, Louisiana. Steve Gustafson from Tallulah, Louisiana. And Jimmy Gordon from Monroe, Louisiana. A special salute to everyone here at Airshow 2021 from Aeroshell Aerobatic team. Well, I can guarantee you one thing, folks, we will have mosquitoes for the next 2 hours. This won't hurt you, it's a naturally oil called cortisol. I've been breathing this in air shows for 41 years, so I guess you can say it for our absolute demonstration. Here they come, give them away, folks. Let them know you're getting in time for it. Mark, Brian, Steve, and Jimmy, the Aeroshell Aerobatic team. Brian, next to him, Steve Gustafson, and getting out of the cockpit right now is Jimmy Fordham. There they are. Gator is going to take the A10 up and do a little round around the patch here to get his bearings on what his turn points will be. And then I'll turn the microphone over to his team for the full demonstration of the A10C Thunderbolt 2, better known as the Warthog.
Hey, Carlos, find the picture. That one over there. Thank you all. Included Tommy.
I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that. I'm cool. I want it.
I like it.
Boys, got us into the runway down to your right, ladies and gentlemen, for your United States Air Force, the A10C Thunderbolt 2. On takeoff roll right now. Watch how little bit of the runway he uses. How about that?
ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the United States Air Force, the Commander, Air Combat Command, General Mark Kennedy, and all the men and women of Air Combat Command, we would like to welcome you again to the 2021 National Air Force Airshow. I'm A-10 General Team NCO in charge, Technical Sergeant Ryan Contes from San Leandro, California. Joining me is our superintendent from Curtis Falls, Minnesota, Master Sergeant Drew Rick. And our safety officer and combat ready tech pilot, Captain Sam Jacob Allen from Albuquerque, New Mexico. As a member of Air Combat Command, 3 Bases Big Wing, located at Davis Mountain Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona. It is my pleasure to describe to you a capability demonstration by the heavily geared and effective close air support aircraft, the A-10 Thunderbolt II. Our mission is to provide the close air support needed for Army, Marine, Navy, and all allied ground forces so they can operate anywhere, anytime. The A-10 demonstration pilot is Captain Hayden Fuller, call sign Gator from Rising Farm, Georgia. Since commissioning through ROTC in 2012, Captain Fuller has become a veteran instructor pilot with over 1,500 hours in the A-10, including 92 combat missions, amassing 500 flight hours, supporting American and coalition ground forces in the skies of Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. Our phenomenal maintenance team assisting today's demonstration from Tucson, Louisiana, Staff Sergeant Noah Kinson. From Lawrenceville, Georgia, Staff Sergeant Robert Benson. From Harrisville, New York, Senior Airman Caleb Simpson. And from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Senior Airman Nolan Foster. And joining us from Public Affairs, Senior Airman Jake Stevens from Montgomery, Alabama. Because of its toughness, tenacity, and devastating good looks, the people who know it best, the pilots who fly it, and the mechanics who maintain it, have unofficially dubbed it the Warhawk. There are over 180 A-10s still in service today. Air Combat Command, Pacific Air Force, the Air National Guard, and Air Force Reserve. Ladies and gentlemen, to your right, Captain Fuller in the A-10 Thunderbolt II. All attitudes of flight. Captain Fuller now positioning the pass down the shoreline. A double aileron roll. Above the aileron, they go almost half the size of its wings. And they bring in unparalleled controllability at slow speed. From the left, the aileron. Captain Fuller coming back around to the center of slow roll along the shoreline to display the hard's precise handling characteristics. As he rolls, you will notice a heritage jungle paint scheme inspired by the F-105 Thunder Chief operated by the 355th Tactical Fighter Wing during the Vietnam War. Known as the Thug, F-105s were the dominant attack aircraft during this conflict. From the right, the slow roll. The Q&A. It's the A-10's remarkable maneuverability that enables it to support its close air support mission. Twisting, turning, all over the battlefield, over causing, operate, and deliver. devastating firepower under 1,000-foot ceiling. Right now, that means the miracle fire. The A-10 turbofan engines add more than just power to its performance. They're much quieter than comparable engines, making the work harder, much harder here, and aiding immensely in achieving tactical surprise. The Hawk engines are also extremely fuel efficient, enabling it to fly more than 1,000 miles without refueling. Adding Ford is now repositioning his aircraft to perform a level 363 high-G turn. It's the A-10 quick turn rate and small turn rate, which enables it to work effectively over the battlefield, even under marginal weather conditions. This is less than the size of an average NASCAR racetrack at well over twice the speed of any driver. On the battlefield, this capability enables the Warthog to turn quickly and evade enemy air defenses. Captain Fulham is now configuring his aircraft to demonstrate the A-10's slow speed control ability at its final approach speed of 120 knots. Get your cameras ready. This slow speed pass will give you a good chance to see the A-10's high bypass engines and unique tail design. These distinct features help mask the engine heat signature, aiding the pilot to defeat infrared missiles. Let's go to the cockpit of the A-10 and hear what Captain Fulham has to say.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm happy to send in a nice place to you. Thank you all for your folks here in Texas for putting on such a great event. To the Rio Grande Valley CAF for hosting us out here. It's an honor and privilege to come out and do some flying for you guys. We hope you're enjoying it.
Listen now, we pass tactical with both principal uncertainty element. This will demonstrate the Hawk's ability to target and finally engage enemy forces using the A-10's weapon of choice, the ground pounder, Galloway Avenger 30mm battery gun. Firing 70 rounds per second. Each time the radar delivers 7 times this recognition in the more traditional unbelievable. Come on, hold on. It will now take Captain Fulham about 30 seconds to get back into firing position. With two hogs working together, enemy forces could be under A-10 fire once every 10 to 15 seconds.
Oh, this is noise will be that.
Is now signing up for his final attack, where he will simulate dropping 500-pound bombs. These general purpose bombs are useful for cratering airfields or destroying buildings, adding versatility to the Hog's arsenal of weapons. Captain Foreman is now performing a jig-on maneuver. This continuously changing three-dimensional maneuver makes it very difficult for enemy anti-aircraft gunners to track the A-10. The Warthog was built to withstand significant battle damage, while having the capability to fly on a single engine and a total loss of hydraulic power. The A-10 has a well-earned reputation for strength and striking power, a reputation earned in multiple deployments where Hogs destroyed numerous enemy armored vehicles, artillery sites, scud missiles, and was even credited with 2 air-to-air kills. Today, the upgraded A-10C continues to set the standard for supporting Allied forces in today's battle. Now, from the right, Captain Foreman, a 4-point roll. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Foreman is now repositioning the A-10 for the dedication pass. We would like to dedicate this pass to the men and women of the armed forces, their families, and all veterans in the Tennessee. Our Heritage Team is in remembrance of those prisoners of war, missing in action, and ultimately the 1,584 service members who still have not returned home from Southeast Asia. From behind to your right, A-10 Demo proudly presents the dedication pass. We especially want to thank those who gave their lives to protect this great country and all of their families who have sacrificed so much. The United States Air Force's Air Combat Command provides the essential combat air support capability for today's joint fight. The A-10 has consistently demonstrated its ability to fly more than 4 stories per day, a tribute to the skill and dedication of our
Hey, y'all want to really go this time? Yes, let's really go this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a hand to all of our outstanding maintainers and all of those service members, keeping our aircraft fit to fight. We hope you've enjoyed this brief display of only a fraction of the A-10's full combat capabilities. As an integral part of the most capable Air Force the world has ever known, your A-10 Warthogs are ready to defend our nation's skies and dominate the battle space anywhere around the globe, ready to aim high, fly, fight, and win. As proud members of an all-volunteer Air Force, we hope our performance has inspired you to serve your country alongside the professional men and women you see in action here today. If you are interested in joining today's premier aerospace team, then find any member of the United States Air Force. Any of these amazing warriors will answer any questions you have and help you set your course for an amazing career. Don't forget to tag us using @A10 Demo Team in all your photos on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Air Combat Command and the A10 Demo Team, thank you your attendance, your patriotism, and support. Attack Dental out.
All right, big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for Sergeant Brian Pontes, all the members of the 810 Thunderbolt 2 demonstration team. Nice job. You like that? All right. Well, you know, we've had a good air show today. We haven't broken anything or hurt anyone. And believe it or not, this is the most dangerous time of the air show. That's when you who've been out here 4 or 5 hours, it's hot. You may have had a couple of adult beverages, and now it's time to go home. So we'd like to encourage all of you to hang around. As soon as we get the last airplane in, if you'd like to walk out and look at them, you can. But when you go home, please be courteous, buckle up, drive safely. We'd like to maintain our safety record. Thank you for coming. Now, I want you all to be a good air show attendee and go home and tell your family, your friends, and your neighbors what a good time you had today, and tell them we're going to do the same thing tomorrow. So we'd like to see a big crowd here tomorrow. Thank you very much for coming. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Go home? I thought you wanted to go to.
In South Carolina, I was working for this company called CAF. We used to sell electronics to Miami. And so anyway, I went up to Greenville, drove up. I had to go up to one of their air fields, and it was off the beach track. And there was
Justin Pullen is going to pull into the 810 right in front of you, right here in front of the building right there. If you want to get a close look at this commemorative 810 Thunderbolt 2, he'll be here in just a minute.
Yeah, but it's 30 years too. I usually film a lot of stuff. Right down live stream. I was at the other show. What's today? I'm pretty good.
What? It's a truck. Probably a paddle though. The pedal. Yeah, I guess we paid
I can ask Kane.
Not very nice.
Not official. Yeah, I have my own YouTube channel. Mars Legacy, so it's a small channel. You should watch SpaceX. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Came down here last night. Days to check out a kitchen test. The SpaceX is doing, and that just helped me. Every month, the hotel's like another month. So almost all the year, February wasn't so bad. That ice storm. That's right. So far, I've noticed the plane rain is really nice. I currently live in Louisiana, Virginia. I've been in Louisiana for 22 years now. Yeah, that's why I'm driving that way and just going to check out SpaceX after 5 hurricanes. I just have to say, I'm out of here. You can see the SpaceX area from here. Okay.
Well, there was a time. Here come.
Planet that is. We're trying to figure out which planet that is right now. That one star we see over here.
Right here?
Yeah. That's a planet. I'm not sure which one.
There was a time we had the CAF in Harlingen. And then they left us and went to Lubbock. But there's still some that hang out here at the Bayview Airport, so.
Yeah. Yeah. She says, it's fine. You got the Mercedes? Blooded, like, yeah, we got the alimony. It was just like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. He's out at the island here. No rain at all.
that day.